I don't think it's as cut and dry as you think it is, baby. So we're gonna have that talk, and that's why I said Offensive Player of the Year. I was very strategic in my award that I wanted to discuss with you today.
When we talking MVP?
See, we ain't talking that just yet because I figured that's the one you gonna 7 on. But we already know 7 can't win both. No one wins both. So if 7's winning MVP, that means you got to have a different Offensive Player of the Year. If you pick him for Offensive Player of the Year, then he ain't gonna win MVP.
It's happened though.
Nah, it ain't. When the last time it happened though?
Might have been Mahomes.
No, it was Breeze.
Breeze.
Nope, Breeze won it.
Really? When Mahomes won MVP?
Absolutely. Yep. Because everybody talked about how Breeze didn't get that, but they at least gave him the little hand-me-down. And we're like, well, how is he Offensive Player of the Year when Mahomes is the MVP of the league?
Let me look.
Yeah, man.
Let me look real quick. Yeah, there are some names. We're seeing Michael Thomas in here.
AB got one as well.
AB won one.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Did he? No, I don't think he did.
I thought he did. I thought that would have been in check 16.
No, Mahomes won it in 2018.
What were the years before that?
Todd Gurley. Matt Ryan won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Cam Newton did too.
Okay.
Derrick Henry, last two didn't though. Michael Thomas and Derrick Henry. Yeah, because 18 was Mahomes' MVP year, right?
Yeah.
I'm not missing anything with that.
Was it 18 or was it 19?
Yeah,
18 was the MVP. 19 was the Super Bowl.
I think he won MVP.
Oh, no. I mixed them up.
I think he won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year the same year.
Man, all right.
I could double check, but if I had to bet on that,
I could have sworn it was Mahomes and Breeze.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not seeing Breeze on here at all the way back into 2011.
Not just for MVP, for Offensive Player of the Year as well.
Yeah, no, Offensive Player of the Year.
Which one? Hold on, what are you looking at right now, bro?
Yeah, I think this is Offensive Player of the Year because, yeah, like I said, Derrick Henry. Okay. Derrick Henry's on there. Michael Thomas. Let me double check. I'll go to the Pro Football Reference.
You had it pulled up as MVPs and Offensive Player of the Year together.
No, it's the same thing with Mahomes. 2018 MVP, 2018 Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, all right. So I stand corrected then.
Yeah, so it's been done.
I stand corrected then. So Ben is not winning Offensive Player of the Year. He can't be in this category.
I'd say it's 50. It's 50-50 over the past 5-6 years between skill positions like Michael Thomas, Henry. You have Todd Gurley in there, but also you got Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Patrick Mahomes. There's a chance.
Okay.
There's a chance. If you do it well enough, you can do both.
Right. But we already said we're not worried about Ben's stats this year. You already told us.
I'm definitely not. It's about the wins.
So we're good. So he'll lead us undefeated. So who else do you have? Or is that the guys you're going with for all the for Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep that same energy. To be honest with you. I'm going to be boring about it.
Do you have a top 3 then? Give us a top 3.
Top 3?
There we go. That's what we need from you, Deke. Top 3s from here on out. Yes, that's the workaround. There we go.
So I got Ben in the mix. I think you got to have Mahomes in the mix too.
Okay.
Man, any of those top 4 or 5 quarterbacks.
Give us your 3. Because you're definitive on your 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Deke we're looking for right here.
Najee Harris, low-key. Might have a chance.
Instead of Rookie of the Year, you go straight.
I'm just saying,
straight Offensive Player of the Year. Ooh.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I see John Doe in the chat. He's talking about Najee for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I like those.
I'm not going to do that. My thinking is just, you go back to like Zeke Elliott, his rookie year. I mean, those type of numbers. He had like 1,600 yards on the ground. I can't remember how many receiving, but he was probably close to 2,000 all purpose.
No, he was. But I think
if you pull that off on a rookie year.
But the only reason it was like that was because of how they viewed Dak and how they utilized Dak. I don't think you view Ben like how they view Dak.
No, that's what I'm saying. If Ben's winning Offensive Player of the Year, it's going to be tough to also, or win MVP, it's going to also be tough for the running back to win Offensive Player of the Year on the same team. Bro, you start going.
All right,
because it's tough for me to sway from quarterbacks.
It's not an issue with swaying from quarterbacks. I just said just top 3. That's it. You were so narrow-sighted, though, man. You only looked at 7. It's like,
but it is over the past 5 or 6 years, 50-50 between.
But that's fine. That's
skill
fine.
Positions.
That's fine. But you got 2 more options then.
I'm kind of hard pressed to think of someone though, because like Saquon Barkley's coming off injury.
What about Christian? I was gonna say Christian McCaffrey.
He's like off injury too. Who's gonna be the receiver that's Michael Thomas-esque or AB-esque, where they're just getting force-fed?
Think about what DeAndre Hopkins did last year.
And I think he's going to have a really good year, like 1,500 yards.
He led the league in receiving last year. No. Diggs had it.
Yeah, Diggs
did. But DeAndre set it was either the team record or it was a season high for him, whichever one it was.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't know right off the top of my head if there's going to be a receiver getting like 1,700, 1,800 yards, 120 receptions like that.
Diggs he'll be close. Josh Allen forced Fiesel, but he wins like a lot.
Okay. I'm thinking he's just going to have a notch down in production. Not anything crazy, maybe 1,400. Mm-hmm. That's all. I just don't know if that season's going to be replicable.
Vincent Murray.
Michael Thomas
he brings up, what about Derrick Henry? Vincent Murray brings up Derrick Henry. He says he's got to be a front runner.
That's my thoughts.
He went for 2K.
That's my thoughts with him, though, too. I don't know if what he's been doing these past couple of years is going to be completely replicable like that. I'm not going to
lie. I low-key, I feel the same. Like
he's going to be good. He's going to be good.
I know that feeling. I hate to be that guy
Offensive player of the year again. There's just not one guy that sticks out to me. If it was AB back in his prime, I think he should be in the mix.
Even like a Julio in his prime.
He's not anymore. Like, he's with Tennessee. AJ Brown's there.
Now, Eli Mullen, he brings up Devontae Adams. I feel like it's going to be hard for Devontae because the credit's going to go to Rodgers, though. Right.
Because Devontae had that type of season last year. I mean, Henry went off, though.
Right. But never were we speaking of Devontae like he was the reason. It was always Rodgers. And I think for Devontae to go off, Rodgers is going to be going off as well, and it's going to be that same conversation, that same perception.
I don't think Rodgers is going to have the same year. I think it's got to be Mahomes.
See, I think he's going to be even better, bro. Just because he's pissed off, he's going to be wanting to prove a point, and he knows this is his last ride, and you're giving him an additional game.
I think he's going to be really damn good.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the stats are going to
the only reason I think
be the same, because those were better. Those were so inflated, I think, with those touchdowns.
But you're giving him an extra game. That's the thing that I keep thinking of. I'm like, he's a guy that he can do that. Certain players, I mean, Ben's in that category. We've seen like with one game where 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. You're like, all right, this is a crazy. Even Brady did that versus Detroit late in last year. He did it in a half. Remember, he didn't even play the second half. So I'm like, I can easily see a scenario where Rodgers does surpass it, as crazy as it sounds, man.
I'll say for the top 3, I'll throw Mahomes in there and I'll throw Brady in there. Part of me wants to throw like Herbert in. I just need to see it again. I need to see it again.
I'm not going to lie. I like that idea, though. He's young, though.
I need to see it again. Brady, what he's doing down in Tampa Bay's offense, for him to throw like 40-plus touchdowns in his first year.
Yeah.
The whole offense is back. AB's more acclimated. I could see him having a pretty big statistical year.
Yeah.
Even though he's 44. I'll go with Mahomes, Brady.
Yeah.
That's my top 3. Ben, Mahomes, Brady.
Because I do feel Offensive Player of the Year, and I get why we're looking for other skill positions, because that is the award where if you're going to get it as a skill player, that's the only award you're going to get. Not a lot of MVPs being handed to 9 QBs. But
Henry would have had a chance for MVP last year if Rodgers didn't have that type of season, because Mahomes wasn't really in the running at the end of the season. He was, but Rodgers was the main guy. I think there would have been a case if it was between Mahomes and Henry that Henry might have got the nod. It was just that Rodgers was just a little bit above. Yeah. Even though I did say, like, for MVP, because it's arbitrary, I would have taken Mahomes over Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's just that his stats weren't as gaudy as Rodgers. That's why he didn't get it.
And it's crazy, man. With Rodgers, like, I always am curious to see, like, with certain quarterbacks, we know the hype train surrounding them. Can another quarterback like overcome that or overshadow that? And with Mahomes, you think, man, Mahomes going into last season, it was like just insane hype train. But Rodgers found a way to do that thing, man, to produce at a high level and ultimately surpass that hype train, which is crazy. So, yeah. But looks like somebody is saying the name that I like to start this thing out for, my top 3.
Actually, yeah, Josh Allen's a good call too.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because
I thought last year he was in the conversation. I just thought that the difference was with Rodgers. Rodgers statistically had him, and I thought not the Arizona
Josh fell off a little bit.
But I say down the stretch, he had like a couple of games where it just wasn't the same like level as early, where he was just going crazy out there, and I thought that's what cost him.
Yeah, there was a game or two, like even the Steelers game, like he didn't keep up that same
correct. Like, he played
that he
well, but it wasn't like before. He was playing like out of this world, and that was the difference with him. Whereas like Rodgers and Mahomes, because then Mahomes, he had a little bit of a period in there as well, man.
He got hurt again.
That's what it was like, and they had that weird like Raiders situation.
He played bad against the Dolphins, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
He was throwing. I think he had like 3 picks or something like that.
And then they came back like, no, because wasn't they either got up big had the turnovers. It got back close, and then they ended it.
Yeah, they had weird games, like a weird game, They had weird games like Falcons. Yeah. It was a close game. Even Tampa Bay, they got up really early. This was in the regular season, but then Tampa Bay came back and only lost by a score.
Yeah.
They had actually, I know people ripped on the Steelers a lot last year because we were winning some games by one score, but Kansas City won a lot of games by one score. It's just that the raw numbers were higher than what the Steelers were dealing with. They were letting up more things on defense.
Yeah. Because I thought, I looked at it, was the Steelers were more consistent through the games. Granted, they had more holes, but they were more of a consistent team. Whereas I thought with the Chiefs, you would just see them playing waves. It's like when they wanted to prove a point, they would come out there, be on fire, score whenever they wanted to. Then you would see them almost look like they were bored and just doing dumb stuff and let teams come back into it. Then you see them put their foot on the gas again. That's kind of how I always viewed them. It was that weird, just looks like somebody just playing with their food almost. And I mean, for the majority of the season, they were able to get away with it, but typically that doesn't work like that. Typically, you got to be more consistent. But man, so for me, my first guy that I think of obviously is Josh Allen. I think that he's coming into the season with a ton of steam based on what he did last year. He has the full gamut of wide receivers. He has the O-line in place. I just don't think he's going to have a lull like he did last year towards the back end. I think that that's the next progression for him of how he gets better. And that's what separates him when you think about your Mahomes, even Ben when he's going off, Rodgers, Brady. They don't have those 2 to 3 game just average games for them. And I think that's going to be different for him. Next up, though, Mahomes, man. You know who Mahomes is. Mahomes is a bad dude. The dude throws at will. He got a new revamped offensive line, still has a ton of weapons out there. That's the thing, like, for me, that has me really sold back on him, the protection up front, because we know he can make every throw. We know he can do the spectacular, and you know he has weapons out there, but the protection killed him last year. That's my biggest fear for us this year. Like, I'm fine with Ben, but we got to protect Ben. You protect him, he'll cook. If you don't protect him, he's not going to be able to do how Mahomes was in terms of run 30 yards this way, dive over here, and then still throw that thing on a Route 40. Like, that's just not in him at this stage in his career. So for me, man, with the new O-line, Mahomes definitely on that list. And then my third guy, this is why I'm stuck, because I have a ton of names here. Your guy's one of them, though.
Nice.
Your guy's definitely one of them, because it's Offensive Player of the Year. I don't think he's MVP category, but the scenario for him to Offensive Player of the Year can definitely work. When you have a Najee, who, I tell you, I don't think Najee gets a ton of his productivity just running the ball. I think a lot of it is going to be him dumping it to him out the backfield. Those are going to be beneficial for Ben's numbers as a whole. Big scheme. We know 4K is the big number. That's going to guarantee that's going to be above that. Then I also like what we have at wide receiver in terms of if the O-line can just protect enough. You got downfield weapons, legitimate weapons. And we even seen Ben, whether it's in the preseason games or, like I said, in practice, I've seen him stretch the field with those guys. I like that. O-line, though, they got to protect him. But if they do that, he'll be in the conversation because the team is going to win enough. He plays for the Steelers. His name is already enough to be in that conversation. So he's definitely in that category. Obviously, you got to have in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be there. But for me, I look at Aaron Rodgers more in that MVP category. I think that he's going to be on a mission. Derrick Henry, I think he takes a step back.
I do too.
It's hard to have that many carries, that many years, and not start.
And they got Julio Jones too.
Yeah,
in terms of just raw numbers and how many carries he's going to get.
Yeah,
when you have Julio Jones, you're going to throw the ball just a little bit more.
Yeah,
he's an upgrade over Corey Davis.
I would say yes. You know, it's just, even if we're saying a little bit, I think it's a little bit more than a little bit, but yes. But I just anticipate him taking a little bit of a step back, man, because that adds up, man. You can't keep doing that. We've already seen it with Zeke. We obviously saw it with L. Bell. We saw it with Gurley. I mean, that's just how it goes. Those guys, their shelf life. Even, what was the dude that was in Dallas, was killing it, and then went over to Philly?
Marco Murray.
Yeah, he's another guy. Like,
he actually usage, won. He won the offensive player of the year that
usage
year.
Was a beast, and then it's just like they fall off a cliff. And I just feel like with Derrick Henry, it's coming. I feel like it's coming, man. So I can't put him in there. But if I had to go with a third dude, I want to go a wide receiver, and I'm stuck here. DeAndre Hopkins and Diggs. Those are my two. Because like I said, with Adams, I think Adams' productivity is going to always be undercut because of Rodgers. They're going to always defer it to Rodgers, put it on Rodgers. But with those two guys, I'll go Hopkins because the same conversation might be had for Diggs.
Yeah.
Could easily happen for Diggs. If Josh is going off and Diggs is going off, oh, it's because of this guy, it's because of that guy. Whereas with Hopkins, it's not going to be viewed as
he got traded there.
Right. And he's been the savior.
Kyler.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
So that's kind of how I think. I think it'd be Hopkins is my third option right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Shoot, maybe I should, man, we didn't even ask the chat. You know what, man? Let me ask the chat, man, who they think. Who, let us know. I don't even know I could pull that up, though. Can you even pull that up?
No,
I want to
be
just
ask the question.
Yeah. So
I could ask it. You want me to throw it in there?
You throw that in there, man. Yeah. Ooh, now people are saying Ridley over Hopkins. Ooh.
Who, Ridley? Like Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, they're going Calvin Ridley at 1%.
That's not a bad call.
I like Justin Jefferson. Now, Vincent Murray brought up Justin Jefferson. I like him a lot. I do. I don't
think he has the same year.
I'm nervous with Kirk.
He's going to be fine. I think 1,200, 1,300 yards. Yeah, it's a good point, too, with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. We know Kirk. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's that's a really sleeper call just because you don't really consider him wide receiver one or this bona fide stud. But with Julio Jones, with Julio Jones not being there, Matt Ryan's going to be force feeding it to him.
He has to. Yeah.
And then I just don't know how good Atlanta's going to be. Are they going to have a lot of garbage time yards and just be slinging it out?
Because what's Atlanta's offensive line situation even look like right now? Like, that's the other thing I think of with them, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be that good.
Yeah.
In general. I see why it's a sleeper pick. He might be better for fantasy as opposed to winning offensive player of the year.
He'll probably make great odds if you take that bet, though. You put the odds down on that.
For offensive player of the year?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of just like throwing it out there. I'm not saying that it would happen.
Like $10.
Yeah. Maybe $10 pay out like $1,000, $2,000 maybe. Something stupid. Nah, it is.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I could see him at the end of the year leading the league in receiving.
Yeah. Oh, Christian Weaver says Dak Prescott. What about him? He says MVP or offensive player of the year if healthy.
Oh, wow. Offensive player of the year is not a bad call because he was on that pace last year.
He definitely was.
He was like the number one fantasy quarterback. He's throwing for like 400 or 500 yards a game.
He was balling. It was a weird vibe with him, man.
I could see that. If he keeps the interceptions low and those yards are like up over 5,000, I could see that. I could see Dak Prescott. With him coming back from the injury, too, people are going to like that storyline. I don't know if they're going to just think of him too much towards the comeback player of the year category, though.
You're right.
And ignore him for offensive player of the year. But it is Dallas. There's publicity there.
He's a lock for comeback player of the year. Kind of like what we said with Alex Smith. Because of how gory it was, because it's a quarterback, and because we're going to have to hear about this story every single week. You remember how Alex Smith, bro, got to the point where we're like, Alex, we like are sympathetic and we empathize for you. Like we're glad to see you back, but we don't have to see the images in week 12. Like we've seen these enough.
Well, I think he got annoyed with it too. He just wanted to play football. It was just media wise,
they're going to over sensationalize between Dak's injury. Then obviously about his family, like with his brother and stuff. Like I feel like they're gonna hit home on that every single game that we see Dallas, and we see Dallas a ton in prime time, man. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be a lock for that joint.
Who else would be in even that mix? Are we considering like Barkley and McCaffrey?
Because they say what about Carson Wentz?
Comeback player of the year? Actually, yeah, he's a good candidate.
And you don't have to be hurt anymore because we saw Ryan Tannehill win comeback. He won. Who did he win that over that year? That wasn't Ben's year. That wasn't. He went over Ben. That was the year when Ben got hurt. Yeah. So who did he? Because I definitely remember us laughing like he wasn't hurt. He was just bad. And now you can just go from being bad to being good and you're comeback player of the year. All right.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Carson Wentz would be a pretty good candidate being with the Colts.
And it's in OBJ.
Yeah, that's a good call too. OBJ. I just don't know. It's like Saquon Barkley and McCaffrey in that mix. Because if they go off, I don't know if I'm thinking comeback with them though.
Me either. I think it would just be
because OBJ,
you give them all pro, but
OBJ hasn't been the same with the Browns. Whereas like Barkley and McCaffrey, when they're healthy, they're still balling out. Yeah. So I don't view that as comeback. Whereas OBJ, he's had some down seasons. He got hurt. That would be a comeback.
He's been hurt. And he's coming off of an ACL now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OBJ's a good one too.
Man,
He's not gonna get the ball enough though.
I know because
It ain't gonna be like that. He'll have another good season. I think with the Browns, he has 2 borderline 1,000-yard years, but that's what he's gonna get.
Their style of offense is not gonna like Baker's not throwing the ball enough for that. They want to run the ball, and then after that, they want to play action. And they still got Jarvis. They got other options, man. Yeah, like he'll be 1,000-yard receiver.
A great season for him would be like 1,200 yards, in my opinion.
Yeah. Even though he's had sneaky 1,100 seasons there in Cleveland, you're just like, that was it? You had that many yards right there? Like, I wouldn't expect it.
That would have to mean Carson Wentz sucks and Dak Prescott sucks for OBJ to get it, in my opinion. 1,200 yards, that compared to if Dak Prescott ends up throwing for almost 5,000 yards, maybe like 30 touchdowns.
Dak can't play any worse than Alex Smith played last year.
Like, you think they're just going to give it to him?
I do. He broke his leg on national TV for the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to
so if he's just
over-sensationalize that. He just has to be decent. Just don't get benched. If you don't get benched, didn't Alex Smith get benched at one point last year? Or no, it was the COVID.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He missed some time last year, though.
Best quarterback, I think. Because when they brought him in, they actually started winning, and then they ended up winning the division. Yeah. But yeah, they had that Heineke dude in there for a little bit.
Yeah, and he still won.
They went through 4 or 5 quarterbacks.
And we said to ourselves, we was like, if it was really just based on the sheer number part of it, then Ben, it would have been a debate because Ben was coming off of an injury. But because of how they not hyped it up because it was very significant, but how they just kept talking about it, even when he wasn't even out there anymore. He still was going to win that award. And I think Dak is going to be in that same category, man.
Yeah, there were a ton of people that said as soon as Smith steps on the field, he wins.
He wins it like it was that simple.
He could throw 5 picks, but just for him to be walking on the NFL field,
he showed back up and made it a team after that gruesome injury. We haven't seen that since Joe Theismann. And you know what happened with Joe. And it's just like, dude, so we kind of already got the blueprint. Y'all already set that precedent there. Now, Caleb Cole. No, I do not have nothing against the Seahawks, all right? And I actually haven't been seeing you spam the comment, but he has been seeing Deke, Metcalf, and Russell Wilson as Offensive Player of the Year candidates as well. I had missed that. My bad, Caleb. That's bad. Fair. Yes, I agree. The reason I'm a little bit low on the Seahawks, though, is I just think they got some holes in their team, man. I do. I don't know how they're going to do in their division. You got to be, you got to be at the top typically or on a team that's winning a lot to get that type of recognition. I'm a little leery of the Seahawks right now. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
They could be in that top 10 or just.
Right. I'm not saying they're going to be a terrible team.
Sleeper pick for the Offensive Player of the Years, but yeah, they should be considered.
Yeah.
They are. I don't know if they're being overlooked, but they're not as talked about as much coming into this year because Russell Wilson last year, man, they really put the marketing campaign out for him to win MVP. Let him cook. He needs to start calling the plays for the offense.
The let it cook, bro. That they used to play that every week. Let it cook. The first 5-7 weeks, let it cook. Gotta let him cook. Let Russ cook. Oh, we're just gonna play Russ moving around the pocket. All right, watch him move again. I'm like, dang, dude. All right, they barely won. I think they lost this game. Let him cook. I got you. Chill.
Yeah. My top 3. Then I got Ben, Mahomes, Brady.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just don't have a good feeling for any of the skill position players this year.
Travis Kelce, what about him? That's another name that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to say he sucks or anything, but he's had his run, man.
Yeah.
It's not I don't think his numbers are going any more up.
Fair enough. I don't think they will either.
He'll be fine. He'll have over 1,000 yards, but there's no way. I think last year was actually probably his best season, too, statistically.
No, I thought he had that one. When he was on the cover, when he got on the cover, man. What year was that?
Nah, he was never on the cover.
Bro, I could have sworn he had it.
Mahomes was.
Dang, go on, man. I could have sworn I seen him on, or I know he had the TV show. Could have sworn he was on the cover of another one of them things, man.
He might have been.
Maybe magazine. For a fact, he had a TV show, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Last year, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns.
Wow.
His other best season was 1,300,
what
10
year was
touchdowns. That was 2 seasons back, 2018.
18, okay. Man.
I just don't see his numbers going up. Although,
what about his touchdowns,
there's the
though?
whole extra game.
Where is touchdowns looking at, though?
Huh?
Touchdowns from per.
On that season?
Yeah.
It was 10.
10. What's the most he's had in a season?
11. That was last year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, he's been healthy as hell, though.
No, he has, man.
I'm looking at this ever since, he's 25. 16 games.
Ooh,
15 games.
Another comeback player of the year candidate as well. Eli brought up George Kittle. Now, I don't remember him being like...
I feel the same way as Barkley and McCaffrey.
Like, I don't look at it as like the same, because they're already just great players still. Like, we expect them to be great still.
Even though he was banged up, he was still productive last year when he was out there. He would have to miss. He would have to either get injured again this season or have a down year, and then the following season, do it. I think he's more eligible.
Right. Unless he would have missed like all of last.
That's why I consider OBJ a better candidate.
Just because absolutely,
he hasn't been the same with the Browns. Whenever you compare him back to the New York Giants,
statistically, if he come out here and go for 1,200, 1,300
plus the injury, I would consider him. Yeah.